everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Keep Swinging. I'm your host, Matt Stucko. We have a very special guest today. He's just an absolute stud on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. We got Nick Cassano in the house today. What's happening, Nick?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good.
So we're going to be a little bit all over the place. And the reason why I wanted to have Nick on the show is just because, dude, you just absolutely are the perfect example of when it comes to putting out consistent content and doing something that you love. And more importantly, you've put a smile on so many people's faces in a year that's just been absolutely not ideal for a lot of people in 2020. So
I appreciate that.
no, of course, man. I want you to know that. And the viewers and listeners right now, if you're familiar with Nick and his work, you know that he's just all about good vibes and feeling good. So by the end of this, we want you to feel the same way. And if you don't, go back again and listen to the interview and definitely check out Nick's social media platform. So Nick, yeah, man, let's start with that very first moment in your life where you kind of knew that, hey, I have a special gift of making people happy, and I want to be able to utilize that for the greater good.
All right. Well, I mean, it dates back to like when I was like a little kid. I feel like I was always the one to try and make people laugh in a sense and like make them happy. Like to me, like there's no greater compliment than making someone laugh. Like if I meet you for the first time, I want to make you laugh like right off the jump. Like I want you to know before we start that like this kid's funny. So I think I was like 5 and I tell the story all the time. My aunt will tell the story all the time. And we were in Target and there was this guy walking in Target, like funny, I guess. I guess he was like puffing his chest out and like walking like this. And I turned to my aunt and I like nudged her. I was like, "Yeah, Kim, look." And I was like walking like the guy and I was laughing. And my aunt thought it was hysterical. And I guess ever since then, she was like, "Yeah, I knew this was for you. This is what you're meant to do. You're an entertainer, this and that." And I guess just throughout my life, I don't know. I could find humor in anything. Like I'm very optimistic in certain situations. Like let's say like something bad happens in my family. Like my goal is to be the guy to make the energy change through laughter and stuff like that. So ever since I was young, I would say it's just been something that's always been a part of me, like always, nonstop.
What I love about that is that, and I try explaining this to so many people all the time, is that whenever you meet somebody or you see somebody for the first time, the best way to start a conversation is high energy, right? Because you can maintain that. The worst way to start a conversation is low energy because after that, you're only working up from there.
Yeah, 100%.
How you are as a human is exactly what you just said. You start off with high energy, you maintain high energy, and that's who you are as a person, and it comes across in your social media very well.
I appreciate that, and that's definitely a goal. Is I want people to recognize that. Like I want to be perceived as someone who's like that, because you're right. When you start out a conversation and you're just like a stick in the mud, like there's really not much to work with. And if I could just be different, right? And if I could give off an energy that's like not familiar to everybody you meet, that person's going to remember that no matter what it is. Like they're going to go home or they're going to leave and be like, "Wow, I was not normal," in a good way. But yeah, 100%. I agree with what you're saying. I think that's very important.
Let me get a medium hot coffee. Yep, 1 grande hot coffee. Anything else? What? No, medium. Yes, that's a medium. We use Italian words for our sizes. Oh, yeah? You just got vaffanculo as a size? I don't know what that means, but I don't think so. Would you like a flavor shot in that coffee? You say? A flavor shot. It's like we have like vanilla, cinnamon dolce, things like that. We put it in the coffee, makes it taste a little bit better. Oh, yeah? Okay, go ahead. Put them all in. Holy shit. Boys, how much are gonna be? So your total's gonna be $6.48. No, I only want one of them. Yeah, 1 coffee, $6.48, sir. Can I get your name, sir, so I can put it on the cup? Yeah, Sucko. Sucker? Yeah, Sucko. Do me a favor, don't write it on the cup. Write it on my forehead.
Yeah, and I love the fact that your aunt had pointed out at such a young age that you do have that entertainment side too as well, because in your developmental years, that's very important to have that confidence and that influence in your life where it kind of opens your eyes to all these different capabilities and whatnot.
Right.
So she was extremely influential in your life. And you
100%.
come from an Italian family. There's like so much love within those houses. And And with all your videos that you have created, you've shown that. And for anybody who's Italian, it's extremely relatable. For anybody who's
Yes.
not Italian, it goes back to the entertainment side. So
Right.
what you've been able to do with combining both of those things on your social media platforms has been awesome.
I appreciate that. And it's so true that you bring up the point of like being relatable to the Italian American culture, because a lot of the scenarios I portray are like very common occurrences, and like I guess I just do a good job with like the creative aspect and like painting the picture. But like you said, those that aren't Italian and don't come from an Italian household, they still find it funny because I'm able to do the accent. And I talk about this all the time. When I first started, I was making very, very off the boat style videos. So they were getting attention and people were liking them. But that audience that wasn't Italian and like couldn't relate to them didn't really find it funny because like the act, like it's just different. Like most of the time when people think of like Italian Americans, they think of like Tony Soprano, right? And they think about like, gobble, where's the freaking gobble? You know what I'm saying? So when I was able to bring that side into it, the Italian American accent with like the Pasquale character, I think I was able to tap into such like a broader audience. And I mean it shows. It really shows.
Yeah, Pasquale? Yeah, over here, Chuck. All right, Pasquale, and what brings you in today? Hey, listen, Chuck, not for nothing, but don't you think it's a little rude to be texting while I'm asking for your help? Well, I'm not texting, Mr. Pasquale. I'm actually just putting you into our system. Ah, sorry about that. Go ahead, put me in the system. That's okay, sir. Can I get your Apple ID, please? What is that? It's like the email you used to sign into Apple. Try meatballpalmhero48 at hotmail.com. Yeah, it didn't work. What brings you in today, Pasquale? Wait a sec, I gotta put on my glasses. Okay. The reason I'm here is because all my photos are gone. You sure they're not up in the cloud? Hey, you know what? This. Thanks, Chuck.
But I'm happy you said that because it's true. Like those that don't get it are still entertained because of the comedic part of it. So,
And that alone has helped you generate millions and millions and millions of views across all your
yeah,
social media
yeah,
platforms. As I was doing research on you, I was trying to tally up all the millions of hits that you've gotten. But then I'm like, dude, by the time that we even do this interview, then by the time that the interview comes out, it's that number's not even going to be accurate. It's just going to grow and continue to grow. So,
yeah.
so when it does come to your growth, I mean,
Mhm.
everybody at home who creates content wants success overnight. They want to post
Yeah.
something. If it doesn't get enough views, if it doesn't get enough likes,
Yeah.
they stop. Or
Yep.
if they're not having fun with it, or if they're not authentic, they stop
Mhm.
because they can only keep up a facade for so long.
Yeah.
So for yourself, when you first started, for all those out there who are watching this and listening, can you just explain to them that first video that you had posted, the roller coaster of a ride of emotions that you had when you're getting all those dopamine hits from all those
Yeah.
notifications on your phone and files and whatnot? Can you just like try to describe that for the
Yeah.
listeners out there? Because a lot of people, they would love to feel that and they always want to
Yeah.
know
Oh,
what
yeah.
it's like.
Oh yeah. So the first video I ever posted was back in February. It was like 2 weeks before the lockdown, or 3 weeks before the lockdown. And it was about an Italian dad versus American dad when like their kid says they're going out.
Dad, I'm at my friend's house. I'll be home in a little. All right, not too late. Okay. What's up, buddy? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you better hope Jesus is here. Get your this. Dad, where the hell is my bed? Oh, you mean the bed that's in my house that I pay for that I let you borrow? It's outside. What? All right, good night.
And so it took me around like 5 minutes to post. And the next morning when I woke up to go look at the video, because once I made the video, I turned the app off and I didn't go on the app. And the app was talking about TikTok. And so I woke up in the morning, and the feeling I got when I saw the amount of attention it was getting, it's very crazy. It's something that's like you said, like a dopamine. It's like it's exciting. Like you get this like rush of like this like weird warm tingly feeling of like holy smokes, like this is going down. And then but at the same time, like you also get this like not a fear, but you just get this sort of like whoa, like I like if I could describe it in like an action, like whoa, like because it's like this moment of realization where there's so many people seeing your face. Like, look, like a million people seeing your face is like something that's like 15 NFL stadiums. Like if you put it in like in perspective like that. But so just like the reality of how many people are seeing your face, one is scary, but it's scary in a good way. But the overall feeling you get is just like this crazy feeling of like excitement. Look at me, like wow, I guess I would put it. And yeah, I mean that was crazy. And then the first time I ever got posted on Barstool was like that times 10. But I would just say a big feeling of excitement.
When that does happen and you are getting all those notifications, so many people, they're attached to their cell phones and they're just checking their phones nonstop and for messages and everything like that. So when that did happen, was that the case, or were you just kind of like putting your phone down, like
No,
leaving for a few hours and coming back?
no, that wasn't the first time. The first video I ever posted on TikTok was not that. Because TikTok, like the way my notifications are set up on my phone, it wasn't like my phone was going off every 5 minutes. It was only when I had the app on. The time where I had to put my phone down and really just like get away from it was the first time I ever got posted on Barstool Sports. That was probably the most hectic 2 hours of my life. I heard from people that I haven't heard from in years telling me that they see my face. And like I said, that feeling of so many people seeing your face and like you just being a dude the day before, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But no, the time where I had to put my phone down was definitely from getting posted on Barstool, because there's like an effect that happens when you get posted on there. Like it's like this crazy ripple effect of everyone you ever met in your life, like reaching out to you, all these people DMing you. I had a girlfriend at the time, people saying stuff about my girlfriend, like just craziness. Yeah.
So, like, how would you describe it in one word? Like exciting, overwhelming, nerve wracking? Because, like you said,
Yeah.
your face is essentially in front of 15 NFL stadiums.
Yeah. Yeah. In one word, outstanding.
Nice.
It's an outstanding feeling. It really is. I mean, it is an outstanding feeling. And in terms of all the emotions you feel, outstanding. Because like it's not like I wanted to feel that like scared feeling. Like I wanted it, like it's just like a combination of all of it. Friggin' outstanding. Yeah.
And the best thing that you can do is when that does happen to really enjoy
Yeah, I'll
the
soak
moment
it up.
and
Oh,
what
you
you're
gotta
doing,
soak it
because
up.
like, dude, what happens if that never happens again?
Yeah.
You know, like
100%.
you need to try to remember as best as you possibly can that moment and not take it for granted, because it is something special. And
Yeah.
again, you are making people smile, you're making them laugh at
Yeah.
home. It's a very, very feel good thing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I love it. And I think what's great about what you're doing too is that we touched on this before about growing up in an Italian household, but the character that you've kind of created like is you. It's a lot of your family members through
Mhm.
those characters.
Mm-hmm.
So you have almost like a never ending amount of ideas and
Yep.
content and
Yep.
things that you could put out over time,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be great for you and something that you can maintain and continue to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to actually putting those videos together, something that I think is really cool that you do is you're very go with the flow,
1000%.
right? You just kind of just
Yeah.
do whatever feels right, whatever feels
Yep.
right in the moment. It's not forced. And I think that's
Nope.
a great ingredient of success for you.
Yeah. First of all, thank you. Cause not a lot of people like really understand like that aspect of it. And you're 100% right. Like basically what happened is I'll get an idea, I'll put on a guinea tea and I'll go outside. And then that's when the creative piece happens. Like that's when I think of it like that. And it's just like this, I can't describe the feeling. It's just like, I just know what I want and it's going to come out. Like, I just know I have the idea and it's just going to 1, 2, 3, and it's going to be a hit. And I don't say that in a cocky way. I just say that. And that's just like how I'm wired. So like, I'll very, very go with the flow. Everything's a freestyle. Everything is like okay, this would be funny if I did that, and then I just do it. And then if it doesn't work, I'll delete it and I'll think of something else. But as far as like the process of making the videos, yeah, it's completely go with the flow. I record one piece at a time, and that's how it happens. I don't know. I cannot describe how I feel when I do it. It's just like when you're at the rec center and you're shooting, and like some days you're just on, some days like like the shots are gonna go in. Like I get that weird feeling when I make these videos. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I just go into this mode. It's just weird. I don't know.
You got that Mamba mentality when it
I
comes to
guess.
content creation.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
No, but
But
it's true though. It's like when you're in that flow state, you want to
yeah,
try to capture that as much as possible and not kind of be
100%.
like, oh yeah, I'll just do that tomorrow. Like if it feels right at the time, do it. And I hope that everybody out there who's listening and watching this is taking some notes, because a lot of people kind of overthink the type of content that they should
Oh
be
my,
putting out,
yeah.
or kind of even second guess about getting onto a
Yep.
platform. I mean,
Yep.
if it wasn't for some of your friends who are in your ear and
Yep.
family members like your
Yep.
aunt, you may never have created a
Never.
TikTok
Never.
or an
Never.
Instagram page or a Twitter. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's just like, just having that leap of faith of just saying like, yo, all right, I'm just going to do it. And you
Oh
did it.
yeah. Yeah. And I think it's very important for people who aspire to do social media to literally not care at all what anyone else thinks or what they think everyone else is going to think. And if you're able to master that and genuinely not care what other people think, and focus on what makes you happy and what you enjoy, I think that is something that is like very important to your success on social media. Because if you're worried about what Joe Schmo thinks, like you're going to tailor your content to Joe Schmo. And Joe Schmo ain't thinking about you. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people, and I get it in my DMs a lot. I get, hey, like, I'm trying to do this. Any tips? I tell them, like, just make whatever makes you happy, make that kind of content. And chances are it's going to make someone else happy. It's just so true. It's so true.
And that's one of the things that I love about you most. And one of the reasons that I want to have you on the show is that when it does come to posting this content, just the consistency. I mean, that's what this show is all about.
Yeah.
Consistency leading to success. You may not
Yep.
get that viral hit that first video. I mean, in
Nope.
your case on TikTok, it definitely.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky, very blessed. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but all the other ones that you create on after, it may not be that million view video, but maybe the 20th or the 50th or the 100th or the 1000th, whatever the heck it is. You're always striving towards that goal and trying to get that outstanding feeling that you described going viral. So it's almost just like this never-ending chase of always just wanting to try to be as great as possible. And that's an outlook and a mindset that you've taken throughout your entire life. I mean, you used to play baseball at Montclair State
Yeah.
University. You played baseball pretty much your entire life. You even said before there'd be a homecoming, you'd be worried about texting your coach, trying to get some rounds in the batting cage in and turning the lights on, because you'd rather be hitting and taking swings. You just have that like very grit mentality.
Yeah. And I think I credit a lot of that to playing the game of baseball. And I think playing baseball my entire life taught me work ethic. It taught me having a passion for something. It taught me what it means to love a game or love something that you do. And once you're able to have a passion for something, once you're able to really say to yourself, I love what I do, right? You'll then understand what all these guys are talking about and all these girls are talking about when they say like you have to make sacrifices, you have to do you have to put in the work, you have to put in the time, you have to put in the consistency. Because if you want something bad enough, you're going to do whatever it takes to achieve it, whatever it takes. And it's true. And like you'll get into this mindset of like nothing else matters unless I have my, like I would show up, I would have a shovel in my car, and whenever it snowed, because I would hit for hours after school every day, I would lift, I would hit and then I would lift. And if it snowed, I had a shovel and I would shovel the batting cage. I would shovel the field and I would have a tee. I'd have a bucket of balls. I would even have a pop-up net in my back, in my trunk. And if there was lights on and I was leaving some like my boy's house or anything, and the high school parking lot lights are on, I would set up the pop-up cage and hit balls into the net. And it was just because I wanted it so bad. I wanted to play baseball for the rest of my life. I wanted to do like X, Y, and Z. And it's just so true. Like the grit is something that comes, I feel like, when you really love something and really genuinely believe that you want to be better at something. And baseball has taught me that. And I carry that on through anything I do in life. Even if you don't want to do it, like, I still carry it on.
Dude, yeah, so you have that right mentality. And I mean, like you said, if there's a snowstorm and it's preventing you from taking swings in the cage, you're going to find a way to make it happen. I
Yeah.
think that in 2020 with the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
there were so many uncontrollables,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But you did not let that control what you were doing when it did
Exactly.
come to creating this content. So you were able to create an opportunity for yourself, given the circumstances that you had, rather than sit back and say, "Oh, this year stinks. Not
Right.
the year for me. Everybody's doing whatever." But like, no, that wasn't the case for you, which is
Right.
something that I admire about what you've been able to do this year.
I appreciate that.
No, of course, man, and even just being at home. I mean, you have inspiration all around you for the videos that you're putting out. Like Nona lives downstairs,
Yep. Yep. She does.
and there's something that you said in a podcast interview that I just absolutely loved, and it was about being quarantined and how all this is brand new to you. And Nona, your grandma, she's been on this earth how many years? Like 80,
82.
82, right?
Yeah.
So you have this lady in your life who's been on this planet for 82 years.
Yeah.
And even she's trying out new things. I mean, you said she
Yeah.
made a marinara sauce with some tuna in it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude, like what a great role model. And that's a kind of a funny, interesting,
Yeah.
unique
Oh, yeah.
example. But
100%.
the fact that somebody's 80 plus years old and is still trying out new things, and you have yourself who is trying out an entirely new thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know, just something about that, and just surrounding yourself with people like that, I think sets a great example.
Very important. And I'm very, very blessed, and I'm very, very lucky to be in the situation that I am. And I'm grateful for it every single day. But yeah, I mean, there's a ton of inspiration. There's a ton of things that I can grab from everyone in my family. And yeah, being at home, like, you wanna friggin', like, it gets annoying sometimes, like being with your family 24/7. Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, you learn a lot, and you get inspired, because if you see everyone around you doing their thing, then it makes you want to do your thing. So,
Jimmy, gosh, I can't believe my son's in the big leagues. Oh, yeah, good job, Jim. So proud of him. Jesus Christ, I can't believe we're here. Opening day, my boy's in the big leagues. Uncle Mario, look, your godson's in the friggin' big leagues. Yeah, I know, I see it. I told him he's gonna do it. Since he was this big, I know it. Yeah, you were right. Luigi, look, your brother's gonna be in the starting lineup. Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Oh my God, look at this. He's about to come up to the plate. Mario, hold the corn dogs. Here we go, Anthony. Oh yeah, here we go, Ant. Awesome. Awesome. Come on, Ant. Do something, man. Here we go, Ant. Uh-oh. There it goes. Yeah, screw it. I'm going to meet him at home plate. Yep, we got a Guido trying to run on the field.
One thing that you're pretty aware of is your audience on Instagram. Over 70% of your audience is male at the moment, at least. And you're able to land a deal with Manscaped.
yeah.
You're thinking about going into YouTube, setting up a YouTube channel. You just started your own podcast. So you're going through all these different outlets and platforms, which I think is great. I mean, I've heard people say that, and I don't believe in this, but I've heard people say that you should just stick to one platform, master that one platform. But the people who I've had on this show who have been extremely successful, a lot of them don't believe that. They think that it is a beneficial and great thing to go into all the different social media platforms and just create, put out content. So that's something that I think works very well for you, since you're very video based and audio based too. I mean, your voice sounds great. So I think that, like, your network and your viewership can only expand by you doing all these different things. So out of all these different platforms that you have, whether it's Twitter, TikTok, the podcast, creating a YouTube channel, Instagram, where do you find the most excitement?
Right now, it's a podcast, because it's new, and I feel like I could really be myself, and like you can really see a different side of who I am as like who I am on social media. Like on social media through the Instagram stories and through stuff like that, you can kind of get a taste for like who I am and like what I'm about. But the podcast is just me, and it's not the Pasquale character, and it's not like the videos, and it's nothing like that. It's me talking to you, being 100% me, right? And for that reason, I like it a lot, and I find a lot of excitement. Like I love, don't get me wrong, I love making the videos. I really do. Like that excites me more than anything. But now that there's this new thing with the podcast, and like I'm really able to just be myself, and I'm really able to put out whatever it is I want and talk about whatever it is I want. I love that because I really think that I have a lot to bring to the table, not just from Pasquale. Like for me, Nick, myself, I feel like I can bring a lot more to the table than the Italian dad character. And I'm trying to sort of leeway into like that territory where it's like, yeah, I could do Pasquale, like, hey, how you doing, Pasquale? But I could also be me. And like I have a lot more passions than just the videos. And if I can help not help, but if I can bring that to my audience and make them realize that I got a little bit more to me, I think that's great. And I think I could do that with the podcast. So definitely right now, the podcast, 100%.
Big time. And it's cool too because in the podcast landscape, they say that there's 1 million podcast users out there, which is like nothing compared to all the other social media and content creation platforms. But there's actually only 200,000 active users. So a lot of people stop after 3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's so much opportunity on that platform for you. And like you
Yeah.
said, you can be yourself and you do have all these other passions, which you could then use all these different platforms for affiliate marketing. You could use it
Yeah.
to get clients because
Yep.
you're a personal trainer. Like you have
Yep.
all these different talents that you can now like lift up, put on a platform,
Yeah.
get more clients. So I think that that's very smart on your end with creating all these different outlets.
Yeah. And I like, I also enjoy it too. So it's like not a stress. And like, I don't know about you, but for me, like I enjoy the process. Like I enjoy hours being on the computer, putting in the work, so to speak. I enjoy like editing the podcast, listening it over like 100 times, like making sure everything's perfect. I enjoy creating something that I know is a quality piece and something I worked hard on, and then putting it out there for others to see. But the process in which I do that is something that's like one of my favorite parts. So yeah, 100%. I love it.
I love that you said that you could listen to a podcast that you edited like 100 times over because
I don't enjoy it, but
yeah, but like that's just one of those signs because it happens with me where it's just like you know that you have created something that you enjoyed and that people will hopefully likely enjoy if you are continuously watching it yourself, even though you just spent 10 hours editing it. You know what I mean? And you're just like, and you're continuously picking up things in the interview that you like or don't like, things that could be better, things that maybe the person that you interviewed said that hit you different, like the next
yeah,
time that you listen to it. You know what I mean? It's
100%.
it's pretty cool. No, I agree with you. The process is always amazing, and then
Yeah.
it's such an interesting feeling when you do put that video out because then you're just like, all right, well, the work is done for that. You know, like of course you got to send it out to people, which you had a great idea when it did come to putting your video out and promoting it. You'd send it to accounts on Instagram and say, hey, if you don't put this out, you're stupid for not. You know, like, dude, talk about great marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I the first time I ever got posted on like an account was like this Italian style account where they just posted like stuff like based off of like Italian comedy. And like getting posted on there, that was like a long time ago before I was ever like invested in this stuff. And like even like that feeling I got was like really cool. So I wanted to replicate that feeling, and I wanted, because I knew that like my videos were funny, I knew that like people were going to enjoy them, and if I could recreate that same feeling of like getting posted somewhere and like seeing the response from like people that don't know me, I wanted to do it. So yeah, I would make a video and I would go to every account that I knew and I would send them my video, and I would say I think you're stupid if you don't post this or something like that. And kind of ballsy, but like at the same time, like, why not? Like they probably get a bajillion messages a day. Like if I'm like I'll say whatever. Like if I can grab your attention, and it's been a blessing because now I have the opportunity to have like more of a close relationship with these accounts that post my stuff. And now when I DM them, they're gonna open it every time.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't want to post it, they're gonna open it. And because that I was able to take the first step of even getting myself out there was the reason that I have the ability to be a little bit more comfortable with these accounts now. So I mean, sometimes they'll message me, say, "Can we post this video?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." But yeah, man, like it's just cool. And I think like if you're proud of something and you want others to see it, it's like you ever when you're walking down the city and the guys will come up to you with their CDs and they'll give you their album and they'll say, "Listen to this." Like 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna listen to it, but like you never know. Like one day you might listen to it if you're driving, you got nothing else, like pop it in, see what happens. But so it's kind of like that sort of mentality.
Yeah, and even if one person, like you said, listens to it or it has a positive
Yeah.
effect on them, I'd like to think that you did your job.
Yeah, 1000%. And I say it all the time. If I can change just one person, one, that's it. That's all it is. That's all you need. Like all it takes is one. And the fact that I'm able to make way more than one person laugh is there's nothing like it.
Hello, what are you doing?
I'm having an espresso. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah? You have a coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I watched this movie last night. You ever see the one called Avatar? It's the one with the blue people.
Yeah, I seen it. It's a good movie.
Oh, yeah, I like that movie. I was thinking, like, where did they find all of these blue people?
What?
Yeah, I want to find out what planet they make this movie on, because they have so many blue people. I don't see no blue people on Earth. And behind the movie, it's like 1,000 of them. I just think it's crazy they go to another planet and make a movie. It's like the same shit as Planet of the Ape. How did they find all of that ape to make a train like that act on a movie? Anyway, I go cut the grass.
It used to be hard for me to kind of wrap my head around certain videos that I would make because it's just kind of like, it's like kind of like a joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like going through a drive-through with John Sterling and ordering 10 different types of coffees, which I think is funny and amazing. And I'm sure 20 years down the road, I'll look back and be like, wow, that's pretty legendary. But then what was hard for me was that having a wife who works as a physical therapist and actually having a physical and mental impact on people's lives and making a difference in their well-being.
Yeah.
Like the discussions at the dinner table at night. I don't know. I just, part of me would always just kind of be like, man, what the heck am I doing? You know? But somebody had told me in a conversation, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you have a video that gets 1 million views, amazing. If you get one that has 10,000 views, like still think this way, is that somebody could be going through something at home that could be absolutely horrible. Somebody could be going through some sort of treatment, whatever it may be.
Yep.
If 60 seconds of a funny video that you create can make them not think about the treatments that they're going through, can make them not think about some bad relationship, just give them a breath of fresh air and make them smile for just a little bit. That does so much. And I think that's something important. And ever since that somebody told that to me, I kind of like no longer think that some videos that I do are like a joke or like whatever, you know what I mean? I'm just like, you know, like somebody needed to see this. Somebody needs to watch this. Somebody needed the feeling that they're getting out of this video.
Yeah. And that, like, when you were saying that, it kind of made me like get a little swelled up, because when I get the messages saying like I've been going through this, or I've been going through that, it's been a really tough year for me. Like 7 days out of the week I'm depressed, but when I watch 60 seconds of your video, I'm good, and you keep me laughing through such a tough time. Like the feeling you get from that is kind of weird, because it's hard to grasp, right? Like it's hard to grasp that like you're actually able to have that much of an influence on someone you don't even know, right? And it's so special. And it's like those are the messages that are like, wow, like me. Because at the end of the day, like I'm just a dude in front of a camera who like has these occurrences and makes these funny videos. And the fact that I'm able to do that and have that effect on someone that I don't even understand myself what it does for them is something that is also outstanding. And on that same note, like, so I've suffered with acne for 6 years, right? And I got rid of it, but then it came back, and like this past year, it's just been rough. Like I've been getting like bad breakouts. It's the reason why I'm wearing the hat. But like on social media, I'm not hiding my face. And I do that because someone out there, and because I've been through like the whole mental battle. I've been through like the negative self-talk. I've been through I don't like not wanting to talk to people because like you're afraid what they're gonna look at your face. Like I've been through all that. And it sucks. Like it really sucks. And like sometimes you start to wonder like why do you have this platform? Why did I blow up? Why did this happen? And I think a part of the reason that it happened was because I'm not afraid anymore of what I got on my face, but I know a lot more people are. And if I can every single day get in front of the camera with acne and not care and show people that I don't care, one, it helps me and my self-esteem, but two, it helps people way more than it helps me. And if someone can look at it and say, well, he's doing it, okay, I'm fine. That to me is a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth inning, down by 3. Like that is something that's crazy to me. I love that. Like that's awesome. But sorry to go off on a tangent.
No, I love that you said that. That's extremely admirable because in an age of social media where there's so much internet cyberbullying going on,
Yeah. Yeah.
it can be very intimidating for
Yeah.
anybody to put up any sort of video, or all it takes is one comment for somebody mentally to get triggered, or in this case it could stop somebody from like leaving their room or leaving to go pick up groceries because they're so self-conscious now of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I love that you just said that, and again, extremely admirable, because that just takes everything that you're doing to a whole nother level. And I know that that was actually your very first poster, the one that's visible right now on your Instagram page. So a lot of people are actually seeing that when they scroll down and they go to that. So I love that you did that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like I'm up here talking like I'm Superman. Like no, like it's hard. It's hard to do it. But like what helps me do it is knowing that I'm helping someone else. You know what I'm saying?
And there's something also too when it comes to having your face on camera with the Italian dad
Yeah.
skits that you do. Use the long face filter.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, you have this voice and you have this camera presence that even if that filter wasn't around,
Yeah.
looking like a gavone, as your mom would say, even if that wasn't around, I'm confident that your skills and your talents would have gotten you this notoriety in all these plays anyway.
I
Like
appreciate
showing
that.
your real face. I also believe too that if you were to go down a route of say stand-up comedy, because I know that you said you've been open to acting and all these different things in the
Yeah.
future, but even if you were to go down that route, there's an opportunity for you there as well. Just doing all
Yeah.
these different skits on a stage. You don't need the filter.
Yeah.
Your face is perfect as is. You can do whatever you want with that. You got the skills and the talents. And yeah, I just love everything that you said just about having your face in front of the camera and just having the strength and the courage to do that. And it seems like a recurring theme during this conversation, but so many people don't post a video or they won't create content just
Yeah.
because they're kind of scared of what other people are going to say,
Yeah.
what they're going to comment, what they're going to think, how they're going to be perceived. And the fact that you have the ability to kind of see past that and not let that bother you, I'm really wishing that everybody listening, watching this, just applies that same exact thing. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it doesn't matter what Joe Schmo thinks.
It doesn't. At the end of the day, and this actually is a good segue into like talking about like the hate comments too. Like at the end of the day, no, you are going to bed yourself. You are not going to bed with Joe Schmo's brain. You are not going to bed with Joe Schmo's attitude. You are going to bed you. And like sometimes people get really caught up in like the hate, and they really get caught up in like what other people are going to perceive. And you need to understand, and if you're going to get into this, you need to really take a deep dive into what that means for someone to hate on you who doesn't even know you. And if you can understand the fact that what you're doing is so powerful that it's going to make someone else not like you, is says way more about that person than it does you, right? And at the end of the day, and I tell people this all the time, Joe Schmo ain't thinking about you. Joe Schmo is mad at himself. Joe Schmo is not thinking about you. And so why are you going to let Joe Schmo bother you? Joe Schmo ain't even thinking about you. So go to bed happy because you're you and Joe Schmo is not you, right? I don't know. I just like, if people really start to like grasp that concept and understand that, like, you shouldn't give a F what anyone else thinks, is so simple, but it's so true, because it really doesn't matter. Once you're good with yourself, you don't need nobody.
Yeah, and there's gonna be people out there who are gonna say like, "Oh, hey, I could do that better than him. I could do that better than her."
Yeah, probably could.
Yeah. And one of the best ways that it was put to me, my buddy Tim Anderson, shortstop on the Chicago
Yeah.
White
Oh,
Sox,
absolutely. Yep.
we were talking because it's in a similar conversation as this, and because I was trying to wrap my head around certain things, because again, there are always going to be people who are jealous of your relationships, are
Mm-hmm.
envious of stuff that you do, content that you do, whatever the heck it is. And the best way that Tim Anderson put it was, we all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
So make the most of it. We know how we're spending our 24 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's up to whoever else to
Yeah.
decide how they spend their 24
Yeah.
hours, but we all have the same opportunity. So
Yeah. 100%. I think that's brilliant. I think Tim Anderson is a smart man for saying that, because it's so
yeah.
true. It's
Yeah,
so
so like
true.
don't let anybody else bother you in their opinions. And they, like you said, Joe Schmo's. I think I'm going to use that example
Yeah.
from
Joe
now on.
Schmo.
Joe
Yeah,
Schmo.
call him
Joe
Joe Schmo.
Schmo's.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joe Schmo's opinion does not matter.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It really does not. The only opinions that matter are the ones that you care about. You know, like when I say that, I'm saying like your family, the ones you hold close to you, those are the only opinions that matter. And even if they don't agree with what you're saying, you'll still value them. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like I've made videos where my dad don't like me cursing so much, but at the end of the day, like that's what makes it a little bit better than if I didn't curse. You know what I'm saying? So of course you value the opinion, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But that's all.
And as we come down the home stretch, the last thing that I want to mention is the notoriety that you have been able to get. Obviously, we were just talking about people commenting,
Yeah.
good or bad opinions. Now in person, you've had experiences where I guess you could kind of say viewers or fans have seen you out in public. And the very first time that somebody noticed you was down at the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Since then, how many times have you gotten noticed? Do you enjoy it? And also too, I'm sure that 99.9% of the people who do recognize you and say something, it's in a good light.
Yeah. 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 So ever since the first time I got noticed, I've been noticed a few times. And because of the pandemic, it's kind of hard because I don't really, like, I haven't really gone out much because of like what's going on. Like I said, I got Nona downstairs. I got to be careful. But the feeling you get, like, you get nervous because it's like so new and so fresh. But I feel like as it goes on, I'll start to get more comfortable with it. You're also wearing a mask, so when you wear the mask, it's kind of hard. But I've been noticed a few times at the driving range. I got noticed driving on the highway the other day. Someone was filming me as I was driving, and that was just crazy. We stopped at a stop sign, and then as we're going, like, they were just like idle with me the whole way, like the whole length of like where we were going. They were just idle, and like I would look over and they were filming me or whatever, and I like stuck my tongue at them. I was like, and then I drove away after like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, I mean, it's just been crazy. I mean, I hope I never run into someone who doesn't like my stuff. But so far it's just been a lot of love, and it's been a lot of people who enjoy my stuff. And I can't wait for the pandemic to be over. And I'm sure a lot of people can't wait. Just because I feel like I'll be able to connect more. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to interact a little bit more than what I can now. So it's just been kind of cool.
Well, for everybody at home listening, watching this, I want them to be able to connect with you even more right now. So let all the listeners and the viewers know how they can follow you, stay in touch with you. Just shoot out all your social media platforms.
So you can follow me over at Nicky.Cast on Instagram, Nicky Cast with 3 S's at the end on Twitter, and Nicky.Cast1 on TikTok. I also just started a podcast on my own called Nicky Podcast, but you can follow that over at Nicky Podcast on Instagram. It'll still be in my regular Instagram bio, but yeah, hit me up.
Dude, Nick Casano, brother man, thank you so much for joining us here on Keep Swinging.
I appreciate it.
Dude, people are going to be leaving this interview inspired. So everybody out there, if there's something that you're trying to attain, like a goal or whatever the heck it may be, go out and get it.
100%.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching that episode of Keep Swing. Man, we have so many more awesome guests on the way, and I don't want you to miss any of it. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, feel free to go back and watch past episodes. And again, if you subscribe to the channel, that is the best way to find out who we are going to have on the show next. And if there's a guest that you want on the show, I will do all that I can to have him or her come on. So please leave a comment. Let me know who you want to see on Keep Swinging coming up. And also, too, feel free to leave a comment what you thought about the episode in the comment section below. Give it a like. And if you head over to Instagram, I'll be posting clips from all these interviews. Just a little daily inspiration. And there you can interact with me as well. Until then, have an awesome day and keep swinging.